Do I hear a motion to call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock?
A motion,
Make
call
a
meeting
motion to
order.
call the meeting at 6.
Do I get a second?
Second,
All those in favor? Celine,
Yes,
David Brohl,
yes.
David Dempsey.
Yes.
Okay. Pardon me while I have to go through this. I gotta call Tracy and find out how much longer I have to keep saying this too, because I complain every meeting, so I apologize to everybody that looks at this. Today is Monday, April 5th, and the time is 6:01 PM, and we are opening the Recreation Committee meeting. As a preliminary matter, this is Mike Volpone, Chairman of the Newbury Recreation Committee. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipating the agenda are present and can hear me. Board members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. David Brohl,
Affirmative,
David Dempsey. David Dempsey,
Affirmative.
Celine Muldowney,
affirmative.
Mark Sand. Again, I had not heard from him, so I presume he'll be on his way. And Alicia Greco is supposed to be here, but I haven't heard from her either. Employee reps or other town attendees, if any list, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Diane, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, Michael?
Good. I was hoping Tracy was going to be here, as well as Chris Huntress, to go over things. And I'm not sure who the other phone number that just popped in is.
Mark,
Mark, that's you?
yes.
Okay. So Mark Sand is here, as I've already just went by it. So good evening. Today is Monday, April 5th, and the open meeting of the Newbury Recreation Committee, which is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings. As such, the governor's order to suspend the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a public accessible physical location. Further, all members of the public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials for this meeting, allow public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded, so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the Newbury Recreation Committee is convening via Zoom, as posted on the Recreation Committee agenda, which can be found on the Recreation Committee page on the town's website. The agenda identifies how the public may join the meeting. This agenda can also be accessed from the website's homepage by clicking on the box that says the agenda is at the top of the news box. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by via video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and that to take care not to screen share your computer unless you request to do so by me. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. Materials were provided to the board committee members prior to the meeting for the review. We are now turning to the first agenda item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for the effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. For any discussion items, I, the chair, will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, everyone other than board members, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. Please use earbuds, earphones, with tablets, cell phones. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. Take care not to share your screen. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. Board members will be called upon in the first name and alphabetical order to ease the process. If board members wish to engage in politics with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourselves. Finally, each vote in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call. We are on to the agenda. All right, let's get through that part. Sorry, I just got to shift stuff on screens. All right. Reading the previous minutes, Mark, did you get those out or did I just not see them?
No, I did not get them out. I sent an email saying I'm having computer problems, hence why I'm on the phone now. I apologize to the group for that.
All right. Do I hear a motion to suspend the reading of the minutes until the next meeting?
I make a motion to suspend the reading of the past minutes to the next meeting.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor, Celine,
Yes.
David Brohl,
Yes.
Mark Sant,
Yes.
and David Dempsey. So while you guys are all set in the screen, that's how I go through it. Correspondence, any emails that or letters anybody's gotten. The only thing I have is the town is asking, or a couple of the groups are asking if they can participate, start playing this week. I haven't gone down to the field the last few days to see how it is. I don't know if anybody has.
Fields have been good for a couple of days now.
So I will quickly, during our trash at Central Streets, we'll bring up the idea of them starting to play. Other than that, we've seen the last bids that came through that were presented. We were going to decide on this tonight. Bills and claims. Celine, we got anything?
No, I still have to pay the last
Huh?
oil bill. I missed the cycle, so I'm gonna pay that it's due this week, actually.
Okay.
Michael, is this an appropriate time? Because we did have questions about Townsend and the multiple bills and the usage. Is this the appropriate time, or can we address it later?
We can do it now. It's under a bill.
Were you able to follow up with Tracy to see what was going on, or with DPW?
I
Yeah, the bills
emailed
are
them
showing.
and I have not gotten a follow-up yet. But she did say she was on it.
I looked in the windows and there was no visible sign of a thermostat, so I couldn't tell you. There was no, here's the thermostat and here's what the temperature is. So everything, and of course we can't get in, so that's part of it.
I will follow up again with Tracy after this meeting just to see if we can get the latest on those items, which should be the bill and access to the building. Apologies, I'm writing this stuff down. The basketball court, the RP decision. For those who are not aware, Diane, I'm actually gonna let you introduce yourself and kind of ask, I guess the big question for us is gonna be, and I'm hoping you have that answer, is if we have the money in our account to approve this.
Oh,
And I'm
I'm not prepared to speak to that.
Okay,
Okay, I'm sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
know there was some discussion about it last week. I wasn't involved. That's not something that would fall under my role here at Town Hall.
okay.
Did you check with Eileen DeVoe, the finance director?
I emailed them and they were supposed to let me know. And last I had heard from Tracy was if we moved $19,000 over from the reserve fund, we could do it. And the select board and finance committee has approved that, as well as putting a $50,000 warrant on the agenda for the town meeting for the balance of the basketball courts and the Versa court and the hoops.
Okay,
But if we don't have the approval on the first thing, we can't even get to the other. So
Right.
I'm asking Alicia if she can join us right now, because I thought I already invited everybody to the meeting, and unfortunately no one's here.
I texted Tracy earlier to see if she was going to be joining as well, and I did not hear back from her.
Okay. So that's the plan on the basketball court. We have 109,100 and change. We need like another $19,100, $200 that they had appropriated. And I just need a confirmation from the town saying that, yes, that's acceptable. So we can say, we can approve the bid, because the Vermont group that was the low bid for the court with only 2 hoops is waiting on our decision. So we've got until the 18th of April to accept it. I certainly do not want to wait any longer than need to be. And the town meeting isn't until the 27th.
Okay.
Any questions on this so far? Because we're going to have to meet again before the 18th. If I can't, unless we want to, and this is more of I'm questioning, but we've got to, we can either vote to say if we get confirmation on this before the 18th, we can proceed, but if not, we're gonna have to either that or wait for the
And you,
town to approve it.
you said you contacted Tracy today,
Not today, last week.
last week.
I'm just trying to see, I sat in on the select board meeting last Tuesday. I thought we were all said and done, but I just want to make sure that, I just need someone to say it's okay so I can vote on it. And I hate to push this back. I mean, if we do have another meeting, it's gonna be that one question only. And hopefully we can get it done, but
So what I'm hearing you say, Michael, is you're looking for confirmation on the 19,000 and change?
the additional to add to the 109,100 and change we already have in our, already allotted for this.
Okay,
So if we can get the additional 19.1, 19.2, whatever it works out to make the minimum bid, we then can approve it and start the project. And then at the town warrant, we're going to, sorry, that was my wife. At the town meeting, we're hoping to get the warrant for the other $50,000 that would take care of the other 4 hoops and the VersaCore to be all done at that time.
okay. All right, I've just texted her to see if she responds. I do recall that the conversation that what you've just stated was sort of what I overheard, but that's not something that's in the purview of my responsibility, so.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna push this in until hope we hear back from her before. And again, I also texted Alicia too to see if she was joining us for this meeting to make sure that I'm correct. Because if one of the two of them will approve, okay, this, then we can go from there. The Rush Summerfield application, we said we'd hold off on this until we found out.
Well, when are we opening and accepting summer applications for permit holders? And when does it close?
Unless it looks like it, we can open it as of April 1st. And we've got to have it closed by May 1st.
All right. Which document is that, Michael?
I'd have to go back and check it, Mark. It's one of the different versions, and it may not be the one that Mariah had last. So we have to find out. But I need someone, if it's not that, I need someone to find the document because I don't have access to it then.
Not online?
No, according to Mark, there's an older version online. I'm checking right now. Summer season says open application periods. Actually, it opens as of December 1st and the applications are due March 1st and permits are issued on June 1st. That's what's online right now, and I just pulled it from the website. The
I know
same
that-
thing as the spring season. Other than the spring season, the applications are due January 15th and issued on March 1st.
Can I make a suggestion then? Can we, since we do not have a plethora of,
Applications?
and in at this time, and not historically, I do not anticipate the fields being completely full. We go ahead with a provisional approval, and we'll confirm it at a later date. But at least this way, they can start getting their flyers out that they anticipate having space here.
Until when? When do we give them the confirmation then? The June 1st date that's sitting on the website?
The document on the website, I do not believe is correct.
I'm just telling you
And-
what's posted right now. That's where you have to use until we can have, unless we have something else we're gonna use.
Wasn't the latest version submitted? I thought we
Yes,
submitted that a long time ago.
yes.
Yes, it was submitted and approved but at that time, the Board of Selectmen.
Right.
Mariah went to have it posted, and that was the time we were working on the criteria for the field house. It was relayed back to us that the town administrator wanted to have one document where the documents go up simultaneously, both for the fields and for the field house. We worked on the field house. We never finished the field house document in terms of the hourly cost to utilize the facility. So that just stalled out. So that the document that we voted on and was approved by the Board of Selectmen is what we've been working on, but we never posted it for the public.
I'm trying to see if there's anything on. Oh, geez, that'd be too easy if I got the right one the first time.
I can't find it right. I'm having trouble with the computer, but I used to be able to pull it up through Mariah Fieldhouse.
June
If I
18th,
did-
2019. That's the date that I have. I'm trying to get back to it now. All right. Starting application. She said she was going to send it via, she had it on Google Docs, but I don't have the link on it. It was the night before. Just trying to see if I have anything else. Oh, I may have it. Take that back. Final field house policy approved. Oh, do a little digging. This was as of June 18th, 2019. And there is no chart. Oh, that's the policy and procedures manual for the Central Street Fieldhouse. Wrong one. I apologize for all those that are waiting. We're just trying to make sure we get the right information. All right, the last one that she had here, summer, was application periods open May 1, due May 15th, and permits issued May 31st. And the summer season was approximately from 6/16 to 8/17, give or take days. But that was the last one that we were working on.
Can you send that final version to everybody?
It isn't a final version. This is a document looked at a long time ago. The last edit was on January 29th. The last meeting I was at, we were going back and forth on prices and we tabled into the future. I don't know if this finalized prices or Celine said the fee schedule as we were asking if they'd approve the concept before we spend more time on it. I'm trying to make sure there's nothing else here that I can. This was as a June, this was after that date, so there's still questions that were going on, so I don't know who sent it, but I'm going to forward this to everybody. You now have it. It's in your inbox in a second.
Yeah, thanks.
We can go back through it to make sure, but that was the last document that's going through. This is a working document only, so. So are we now tabling the Rush application again?
Well, I'm suggesting we provide a temporary opportunity.
All right, make the motion, Mark.
make a motion that we temporarily give a provisional approval to the Rush Summer application that was submitted.
Do I hear a second?
I second
Second.
it.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Celine,
Yes,
David Broll,
Yes.
David Dempsey? David,
Yes.
thank you. Mark Sant,
Yes.
thank you. So that has passed. So I will notify Rush that their application has been tentatively approved based on the dates and stuff that we have. So they may have to wait another month to get the final approval, but we're working through it. Okay. The list of area walking trails. I did not get anything done with that because I've been out straight with a lot of things in the last couple of weeks. So I'm hoping somebody was able to do something with it.
Michael,
Anybody got
who is
any-
that? Who is the request from, and what are they
Came
really
from-
looking for?
It came from one of the other organizations, and Tracy and Alicia asked us to see if we can put together, if we had anything.
When
And
you say
Alicia
the other
Greco
org-
is now in attendance to this meeting. Hi, Alicia.
when you say other,
The-
I'm not sure what you mean by other organization. Is it a request from the Open Space Committee to see what we have? Is it a local
I read it last,
nonprofit?
I read it last,
It was
last
from the
meeting.
Council on Aging. I think it was from the Council on Aging. Was
I
looking for
didn't
walking
understand.
trails.
So
I'm
most
sorry.
of the,
Didn't hear that.
I'm sorry, it was the Council on Aging that was looking for walking trails.
Okay.
so the easy way to do it is to look at, the trustees of the reservations have a bunch of walking trails in Newbury. And then the same thing goes with Essex Greenbelt online has walking trails through, and I think they're the ones, those two groups have sort of the marked and kept trails versus there's a lot of things that are out in the woods that aren't really, they're just kind of out in the woods. If a tree falls across, you have to climb over it. So
You said Essex Green, David?
Essex County Greenbelt,
Greenbelt, yeah.
they have a bunch of trails in town. And the same thing with trustees of the reservation, Old Town Hill and other places. I mean, there are a bunch in this town. People have donated land. And you can start in Newbury and make your way all the way to West Newbury. It could be like a 3 to 5 mile walk. So
I'm gonna ask them to get both those links just put up on our page.
Yep.
And it'll just be like on the left-hand side where it has the various different things on it. I'm just gonna put in, it says walking trails and they'll have 2 links that people can go to.
Yeah,
Give
they
me
can
options.
link it right there. That's a very good idea.
Okay.
Can you send that email to, can you send that information to Cindy Courier and the Council on Aging? Please and thank you.
When I'm done, yes.
Thank you. Yeah, not now, but when you're done. Thank you.
Again, I apologize for the delays, but I'm writing the notes, I'm writing my to-do list down. New business, we've had some issues with the trash at Central Street Fields. David and Mark, you want to talk to that one since you guys saw it last week, which thank you very much for bringing it to everybody's attention.
So I don't know if someone broke it or if it was Mellow that broke it so they could empty it, but the sort of the cover lid that keeps it so that you can just throw in small stuff was broken down and put down, and both lids were up and over, and then there was like a mattress frame or some kind of metal thing in there, and it
Yes.
was full. I think it's still full right now. And
Yes.
I think it needs to be, I closed it up and kind of sort of locked it. And when I went by on Sunday, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, it was still closed, but you could see it's full to the brim.
I will call Mello tomorrow and ask them to get back onto the schedule. It should be done on, they're in this neighborhood on Wednesdays, so hopefully they'll be able to do it on Wednesday.
Perfect. Thank you, Mark.
That's the bin. I was approached by a neighbor here in town and went up on my own. There are 3 levels of debris up there, if you want to call it that. One is incidental stuff that's blown either out of our trash or from other people that are in the trees. That was like one of the first pictures. There's some stuff that I don't think it was placed there recently. I know, Michael, you and I have walked the fields. Dave, I know you've been on the fields when we pointed out the blocking sled. But with the weather that we've had and there's no foliage, the sumacs in the back are exposed. There are the 3 blue plastic barrels that are exposed and some other larger items strewn about the property. But the big concern of the individual was the large pile, which I sent a picture of, that contained, and I'm not an expert on this, fill material that is exposed. Whether
Where's
it's
Where's this located?
in the rear of the property,
Yep.
where the after you make the left-hand turn, the bend in the road.
Yep.
No, that's actually just in that area. Just go straight towards the woods.
Okay.
It's back there. You can see plastic piping, cast iron pipes, granite blocks. It clearly it's stuff that has been dumped a while ago, because a lot of it is still not a lot. It seems to be have been covered over years ago, years and years and years ago.
It's making its way up, is what you think, Mark?
I think it's being exposed because more people are out in the field in that area, which is good. We don't have the foliage covering up like we typically do. That when people are out there in summertime, and I don't know if it's if there is anything wrong with that pile. It is unsightly, and it raised concerns, so I brought it forth. The other part is on the roundabout where Triton, the first loop for the cross-country team is after you leave Triton, you cross over the little creek. Instead of going directly up the hill to the fields, you take a right and you loop around the field and gently go up that area. Mike, it's where Rebecca wanted the dog run. There is a discoloration in the water with a lighter brown sediment. It's and again, I took a picture of it with a glossy
Sheen, like a sheen?
Yes. It could be as simple as natural bacteria, which, I'm not a conservation officer or a scientist, which a simple test is put an object in it. If the material floats apart and stays apart, it tends to be more bacterial and naturally occurring. If you poke something in there and that hole reabsorbs it or goes back together again, it tends to be a petroleum product. That's a very general layman's way to look at it. But I was hoping that by this time the conservation officer could have gone down there and made a determination.
So the town's aware of it, I believe, right? And they were gonna take a look at it, right?
I don't know. I sent an email out to the different parties. And
Yeah,
that's all
I think the DPW is gonna go out and look. So we'll
Okay.
circle back as soon as they find something. I don't believe
Okay.
they have yet. But thank you for sending that email out, Mark.
Okay. While we're in the Central Street Fields, we did briefly talk about it, and I see Jason Dorosic from Triton Youth Soccer is on the line. Jason, just so you're aware, we are opening the fields. I'm going to be sending an email out today, letting everybody know the fields will be open to start playing, okay? Jason, you're on mute, just so you know that.
Sounds
okay.
great. Thank you very much, Michael.
All right, I'll get it out to everybody. The last thing I had on this list right now, I had Diane Doyle did ask if I presume she wanted to kind of go through the process on how the applications and stuff are done and handled through the town. So that's what we're going to talk about next. So Diane, I don't.
Can I just, before she does that real quick, did we have something that we wanted to cover now that Alicia's here?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll let Diane do
Yeah, let Diane do hers, and then we'll go
her
back to
thing
the
and
other
then we'll
ones,
circle back.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Sorry, Diane.
No, no problem. Thank you, Michael. I've met with some of you, and we also have on the line on the call with us is Lindsay Turner, who some of you I know have emailed with and so forth. So thank you for this
Lindsay.
opportunity. It's probably a little overdue, but I wanted to just have a sense and have a discussion about the process that we go through when the applications come in, how we're processing them, who's responsible, and all of that. I've been here as the treasurer collector for almost about 11 years. And several years ago, our office got involved. Celine, as you can remember, we met, and we were sort of the contact point for some of the applications coming in and receiving payment. I think it was, at that point, we were trying to find someone within town hall that could act in that sort of capacity. Lindsay has joined us about 3 years ago, and she's continued to help and facilitate some of the process that you folks have. So I really just wanted to have a discussion about, your expectation, what the process is, what our role is. I've discussed this with Tracy, and I think at this point, it probably is a good time because we are entering into kind of the summer season, as well as also, I think, looking ahead to adding in the basketball courts, et cetera. So it was just an opportunity for me to come before the board and to get a sense of, what your process is and what our role is, and to see if we need to make any adjustments. So I guess that was the request. And so I appreciate the opportunity.
So I think our goal when we switched the fee structure was to create some kind of online calendar registration system that got completely derailed with COVID. And Evelyn was looking into calendar systems for us, and then it got completely derailed by COVID. This is where we are.
So Celine, I do remember that. That was something that had been discussed. And I'm not sure if the committee is aware, but we also have recently hired a new IT communications program manager. So Susan Noyce has left the town, and we have a new IT communications manager. So again, this might be an opportunity to sort of streamline the process, look at how it's being handled. And it really is just a hope that we can work together with you to kind of see, where we go from here. And again, adding in potentially basketball courts. And I think the concern that I've had, my understanding was that our role was really to be the point at which we are collecting the funds. I think Lindsay's, acted in a little bit more of a capacity in terms of streamlining, when we're missing this in the application and so forth. And the concern is that Lindsay doesn't sit on the committee. I don't sit on the committee, and it's not something that I think falls within our jurisdiction to be following up with those folks on some of those missing pieces to the application. So it's really, how can we work together to improve where we are? And I think that, Celine, you probably hit it right on the head. Maybe it's more of an IT thing at this point, or getting online scheduling. And again, with the new communications manager that we have, I think the opportunity is good, where we could maybe start the process to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the process, that we inherited when we first came on the rec committee is kind of cumbersome, to say the least. And it's really hard to tell what the town is responsible for, what we're responsible for. So I would definitely be up for streamlining that and making it a little more efficient.
And I think that we are feeling the same thing. You know, we're feeling, you know, Lindsay's been reaching out to people if there are pieces of the application that are missing, or we haven't heard from you, or, you know, so I think we're feeling the same thing. We're not sure who is responsible for what aspect and how does it all fit together, and how can we best serve the people that are filling out applications, and how can we work together to make the process the best it can be. So I just bring it up because I think that it's evolved over the last 4 or 5 years since I've been here when we became involved. And I don't really have a clear understanding of what everybody's doing.
And that's about the time we all came on board as
Right.
well.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, so I think it's just an opportunity to start the process and talk about, you know, defining the roles, you know, what is the process, defining the roles and moving forward. And, you know, I've looked at some other communities and what they have, and event scheduling is great because anybody can go to the website and see who's on that field at that time. So if there's a problem or an issue or someone's, you know, so I think, you know, maybe also getting involved, getting the new IT manager involved and starting to look into some of those things would be timely.
sure, that
And
sounds great.
This is Dave
Doc-
Dempsey. Would it be
Go ahead.
possible to have the new IT manager come to one of our meetings and actually kind of talk about how not only could we streamline the application process, but it could be automated, that if the application was incomplete, certain parts of it would be highlighted so that the person who's filling out the application, it wouldn't be processed until all of the information is accurate and it is where it belongs and it's a completed application.
I think that's a great idea.
Diane, what's the name of the person who's taking over Susan?
Matt Cooper.
Is it still under the IT communications email, info@Town of Newbury? Thanks,
Yes.
Lindsay.
Lindsay shaking her head, yes.
You said Matt Cooper?
Matt Cooper, yes.
Okay. I will send an email, invite him to our next meeting when we decide when we're gonna have it.
Okay, yeah, I think it's just a good time. Like I said, it's probably long overdue. We've been working together for a while and we haven't had this opportunity. So, so I look forward to it.
Lindsay, by the way, thank you very much for all the work and help you've done with us over the last couple of years. I haven't had a chance to say it formally in front of anybody, so I'm gonna take the time now to say it. Thank you very much.
Oh, she's muted.
It's okay.
Okay, so I think, yeah, we'll definitely continue to work together and we'll get Matt to basically go back, Celine, and revisit what had been started, you know, a year ago. Certainly COVID threw us all, you know,
Yeah.
with many obstacles and challenges and things that we've had to work through. So, so I think it's timely and I think it'll be good.
Yep.
Do you want to
sounds
invite
great.
Diane, you and Lindsay want to join that meeting as well?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, happy
It'll
to.
if we don't do it the next meeting, just because depends on what happens the next couple of minutes, I'll let you know when we plan on having it so we can get you all included, okay?
Okay, sounds great.
All right.
Thanks so much for this.
No,
Thank
not a
you.
problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Diane.
Anything to improve the process, we're all for.
Yeah, I just think it needs to make it easier on all of us. And again, you know, we're not serving on the committee and yet we're following up on certain things. And I think, you know, it will just, enhancements might help everyone with the process.
Definitely.
The applicants, the committee, ourselves. I think, you know, the goal is just to make it better for everyone.
Sounds good.
Great, thanks again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To go back to the other item on the agenda we had regarding the basketball court, and this is where Alicia, I was hoping you can either confirm it or whatever, but based on the email that we had, that Tracy and you and I had passed back and forth, we can't vote tonight unless I get confirmation saying our funds are certified. So if we move $19,000 and just under $200 over from the reserve fund into our fund, we then would have enough money based on into the basketball fund, I should say, from the reserve to the basketball fund. We would then have enough money to accept a bid that was done. And I just need to know, is that correct? And if not, I need then to schedule another meeting and get whoever needs to be, because I never heard anything back from Tracy, other than, yeah, that sounds like the right number, and I thought that was what we talked about last week.
Diane, do you know anything about this?
She doesn't.
I was asked, I do recall that there was a conversation upstairs, but that doesn't fall within my my responsibility.
Yeah.
I know Eileen DeVoe and Tracy were talking about it. I tried to contact Tracy just a few minutes ago, and I do know that was sort of the plan that was being discussed, but I don't know the ultimate resolution to that.
Let me go see if I can dig it in an email. Hold on a minute.
I'm doing the
See if I
same
can-
thing right now.
Find something.
Michael, you said you sat in on the Board of Selection meeting that dealt with the rec committee. Could you reiterate what that was about and what was passed by the Board of Selectmen?
What we talked about was the need for, if we wanted to continue to finish the court now, instead of waiting until we either raise money or whatever, was to appropriate or request $50,000 from free cash to the basketball project to finish the completion of the court, if we are able to approve a bid before the 30 days is up. And the money would go towards the other 4 hoops and the Versa Court and the contingency fund that we would need.
So, Mike, can you hear me or am I on mute?
I can
We can
hear.
hear.
Okay, you can hear me. Let me see. No, that's.
This was
not-
also approved, this was approved by a vote by the select board of 3-1 and FinCom 6-0.
Right. No, I know, I think what I would do is I would vote tonight to appropriate that 19, and if you don't use it, you don't use it.
Well, we have to use it just to get the,
Accept
to
the bid.
accept the bid, because we can't wait for the town meeting, because the town meeting will be passed
Right.
for 30 days.
So do what you have to do to accept the bid. And then we'll.
Well, I have,
and
well, the
then-
question is, we have certified funds. I have to have a certified approval from the town to say, yes, I can do, we can vote on this. Or we can do one or two things. We can postpone this, schedule meeting for next week for literally for about 20 minutes to have this one vote once we get confirmation that we have the money. And it's all confirmed and
So-
do it.
Her recommendation, this email from Tracy back on March 23rd says, after reviewing your email and analyzing the rec committee account, I would recommend that we commit $17,000.
It was,
From the
correct- it was
fiscal year
amended, it was
2021.
it was amended to 19 when she realized that when she put the number on, she hit a typo. She meant to hit
Okay.
19, not 17.
Okay, so that's what we need to do. And then that should allow the town to be able to certify it. And if there's an issue with that number, then you can call, need 48 hours to post a meeting, and then you can have an emergency meeting and appropriate more, but I think that's gonna be okay. That's my recommendation.
Any
So,
questions? Go ahead,
so
Dave.
what you're saying right now is that we can vote on approving the 130 and change bid?
128 and change, the minimum
Yeah,
bid.
120. Yeah, the minimum bid at this point, we
Right,
can have that vote
right.
tonight? Okay.
Right. I would do that because depending upon what happens at town meeting, at least the project will move forward. Even if it doesn't go that way, you know what I mean? If you don't get the VersaCourt and all the other stuff, at least you'll have something.
Should,
And then what we would go back to doing the other 10,000 in July and add the other four. the other
Right,
four
and you could
groups.
raise the money too. You have opportunity to raise
Yeah.
money too, and there's other ways you can get it, so.
But if we don't do it before the 18th, we lose the bid. We could lose the bid and it could go up.
Yeah, and I don't recommend you do that.
so can we do a vote to approve the spending pending the certification tonight? And that way it's automatic. Once the certification, we verify that the vote has already been taken.
Yeah.
Does that just
Yeah.
make it more clear? That way, we've already approved it. All we're waiting for is the actual certification. And then once that takes place, it's done.
Right, that
Mark,
works for me. I think that's fine.
Uh,
The
I wanna
town's
get
not
raised-
gonna spend the money. The town's not gonna spend the money unless they can certify the funds, so.
Yeah.
That's my point. Yep.
Okay.
I want to make sure everybody gets a weigh in on this before we make the final decisions, please. So Mark, you're up.
Back of the envelope calculations, based on what we encumbered and projected additional costs, we're at close to $35,000, over $35,000 expenditures. However, I noticed on the March account that we got, we didn't, and Celine, you paid the bill to, what's that place called?
Townsend
Huntress.
Oil? Oh, Huntress.
That was back in, I believe, December. That hasn't shown up. So I don't know if it's going to get added later or it's now coming out of the town manager's office. Don't know. Some of these other things they're a couple, $3,000-$4,000 each. We would need to unencumber the $10,000 that we allocated to Kent Street or Kent Way that we voted on 3 or 4 meetings ago. I haven't heard back from Tracy on any of that, so my assumption is that's not going to happen during this time. So we've encumbered money there. Now we have to unencumber it and make that available for us to use. If we did that, and that'd be 10,000, that would put us close to what we need to do. And my assumption is the town, and I know in years past, Tracy has indicated that her office will be picking up the technical cost of engineers and surveys, et cetera, consulting out of her office as opposed to our office. I don't know if that was ever clarified, but we encumbered money back in, I believe, December or November to pay for the Huntress work.
You know, I believe that money was gonna come out of a different account, professional services.
So what I'm suggesting is, and I'll make a motion, that the Recreation Committee unencumber the monies that were dedicated to the Kent Way project and the, what's that thing called? Consulting services for the basketball court to be used however so, but to basically unencumber the money.
Do I hear a
and free it
second?
up.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All this is freeing the money up and reassigning it is what I'm gathering Mark's saying. So
Yes.
Right.
Celine,
know-
Dave.
Do we know exactly what that amount is, or are we just
I think it was 10,000.
10,000?
It was for Kent Way, it was 10,000.
And what about for
And
the consultant fee?
It was just under 9. It was 89 and change.
So if we free that up, that's almost 19,000 right there.
And that's the money we
Exactly.
get from the revolving account.
that would come,
Let's go.
and that's the back of the envelope with, DiFilippo was a couple thousand, Mello, Water, Burkett, Townsend, and those are maybe 5,000. And mowing should be about 15,000. So you
Well, we've
will
already
spend,
gotten, yeah, 7 of that's
We
already come,
still-
7 or 8's already come out of that. So we sold the balance of it.
Yeah.
Any other discussion on Mark's motion right now to encumber the money? All right, all those in favor? Celine,
Yes.
David Brohl,
Yes.
Mark Sant,
yes.
David Dempsey.
Yes.
Okay. All right, here comes the question. I need a motion to approve to accept the bid, and I gotta give me 1 second, I gotta get the guys' names. Come on. Vermont Recreation, all right, I'll make the motion, make it easy since I'm reading up the numbers. I make a motion to accept the Vermont Recreation base bid of $128,179, taking the $109,100 and I don't know the last couple of dollars. It's like $73 from the current basketball fund, which is $90,000 from the town meeting of August of 2020, $10,000 anonymous bid donation, and the $9,170 something dollars, 60 something dollars from Triton Youth Basketball, along with an additional $19,200 from the Recreation Committee revolving fund. I know it's kind of long-winded, but it's to make sure we're accounting for everything.
I second that motion.
Okay, any discussion on the motion? So this would just be the base bid, the court, all the work in 2 hoops. The additional money we would either get from the town and then start trying to fundraise to get it back, or get it from people that rent the courts at some point to try to help pay it back. But that $50,000, if we got it from them, from the town, would go towards the $10,800, which is option 1, and 20. Let's make sure I get the right number. I think I'm short a couple $100.
Yeah, Mike, I don't think you need to go there because I just think you need to accept the bid.
Okay.
Never mind what happens at the end. We'll have to worry about that
Yeah.
later.
Yep. Okay. Any discussion from the committee? All those in favor, Celine,
Yes.
David Brohl,
Definitely.
Mark Sant,
Yes.
David Dempsey.
Yes.
I will email Tracy and Chris Huntress to accept the bid from Vermont Rec to have the court start working.
Congratulations, you guys. Great job.
Yeah.
2
Great
years
job.
working on that.
Great job.
2 years. 2
Well,
years.
2 years just here. I'm not talking before.
Oh,
All right. Now we just gotta get the certification for the funds and accept it. Other than that, I didn't have anything on the agenda for tonight, so we need to schedule our next meeting. The calendar. I have the calendar. Give me a second. I'm trying to get back to the town site. So the town meeting is, Alicia, the 27th? Yes, the annual town meeting is the 27th. Do you want to meet before it, or do you want to wait until after? This is for you 4.
is there a reason to meet before?
I would meet after because then you have something to talk about.
Right.
Well, we still have to set up the meeting for the IT, and possibly discuss the approach for the town meeting. So, but if not, I mean, you guys let me
So
know.
maybe
if you want.
that's a good point.
So we can either meet the 19th is Patriots Day, and I'm not sure if the town is open. So the 26th or the 3rd. Do you want to meet before, or do you want to wait until after?
For the town meeting, I think we should meet before.
So you're saying April 26th, the night before?
I think we should get our ducks in a row about how we're going to approach the town for the additional $50,000 and explain where, how what we thought was going to be the total turned out to be a fraction of what we got in for bids, and present it in a way that the town understands, what we've gone through and what we need, and how it will benefit the town in the long run.
So I
And the
don't think we
reason
should,
why-
I don't
What's that?
think we should meet the day before. I think that's too close in case we need other information.
You're saying the 19th? Or
Or the 20th.
I can't meet the 20th. I have a meeting that night.
Okay.
Well,
about the
Diane, is
24th?
the town closed on Patriots Day? I would think so. Yeah, they are.
So we're not allowed to meet? Even though
I
it's
don't think
virtual?
so.
I think it has to be illegal. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it can't be on a holiday.
I don't think it can be on a holiday.
What about the
Yeah.
24th?
The 24th is a Saturday.
Oh, I'm in May.
I love you guys, but really, that's not
Not
happening.
that much, not
Yeah.
that much.
What about the 21st or the 22nd?
I can meet the 21st. I cannot meet the 22nd. I have a meeting that night too. Different group.
21st?
Wednesday, the 21st, 6
Works for
o'clock.
me. Works for me.
The only meeting scheduled that night is the planning board at 7. We'd certainly be done before then. We'll hold the IT meeting until May. Let's just get this one, so we're focusing on that topic for that night. And in case there's any bills we need to pay, because we missed the rotation, as Celine said earlier.
Oh, don't even,
Okay,
that was my thing, not,
no,
it's got nothing
it's
to
just,
do
it's
with us.
just, it's just one of those weekend if we needed to go over it stuff. We okay with that time? So
Yep.
6 o'clock, Mark, you okay with the 26th or the 21st?
21st, 21st.
21st.
Okay, all right, so
Awesome.
the next meeting's the 21st. Celine, I'm just gonna need an invite
I'll do it right now.
and I'll
Find
get it
that's
up on the
easy.
page, get up on the site
Yep.
and get
Post
the
it
agenda
and
done.
it's done.
And then, so the one after that, Diane and Lindsay, we'll let you know when we're gonna meet, when we'll set up with Mark. And we'll probably do that in the first meeting in May, okay?
Okay, sounds great.
Just so
Thank
you
you.
know. Thank you all for
All
our
right,
patience.
guys.
Bye,
Um,
everyone.
we haven't closed yet. You guys can leave. We can't yet.
All
I
right.
need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn 6:57.
Do I hear a
Second.
second? Any discussion? All those in favor, Celine,
Yes,
David Brohl,
Yes.
Mark Sant,
Yes.
David Dempsey.
Yes.
Have a nice night, guys. Congratulations. Nice work.
All right.
take care,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank
All
you.
right, we'll see you. Bye now.